10:05. It just turned 06. I'm late. Yes, but happy Venus Day. Happy Venus Day. I'm not giving too much. Just a little ring light effect and clarity. Using AI technology always. 11th house is Leo on my chart. So I do it for my social groups. I'm just changing the vibe here. Waiting for folks to join. Hello, thank you for joining. I am TMZ, teaching everyone abundantly, empowering many. Zakia, enlightening every day. This is Get a Life Astrology. Get a Life Astrology stands for growing into divine adults and loving yourself forever. Welcome, come on in, come on in. As usual, the technology is acting funny because we're close to Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde happens in T-minus 5 days, y'all. I do retrograde talk on Wednesday. We had a good time on that live this past Wednesday. Also, want to push out my website that now has a calculator on it so you can find your rising sign. So many of you are joining. Please hit the like button. Tap that screen for me. Tap that screen as you come in. Hit the follow button as well. Join me with your rising signs. If you do not know your rising signs, go to my website, Get a Life, GIDALYFE, astrology.com. Thank y'all for joining. I have lots of people in here. Please tap the screen and tell me your rising sign. We're chit-chatting tonight. It's Venus Day. Whatever your heart desires is what we're going to talk about. I might bring you on here if you seem like someone who is respectable and interested in astrology. Pisces, Sun, Taurus, Moon. Virgo rising. Hey, it's about to be your season. It's about to be Virgo season in 5 days. So, Virgo risings, as Mercury retrograde is in Virgo, you're going to be more detailed and organized. This Mercury retrograde is not going to be too tough, y'all. It's actually going to get us all in the mindset of being more particular and more organized, especially, and planning out and sticking to the plan. Good evening, your Aries. Do you know your rising sign, Diamond Girl? I like your name. I know what you meant when you said noon. Typos. I do typos all day, especially when I have my nails on. I don't have them tonight. I was supposed to get them done today. I get them done on Sunday now. But yeah, are you feeling that? I can't tell what your name is. It's like some little characters. But being that you're a Virgo rising, this Mercury retrograde will become more detailed. You maybe, if you know what your Mercury sign is. Then you have the Pisces Sun, so your opposition is Virgo. So there's energy of like wanting to be creative and intuitive and just go with the flow. And Virgo's like, let's be a little bit more detailed. Let's pay attention to the details. Does that make sense for you? You're a Pisces Mercury. So that's where Mercury is in its detriment or in its fall. Like it's where it struggles a little bit. I'm also in a detriment, in a fall. So Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini, and the opposite signs of Virgo and Gemini are Sagittarius and Pisces. And I have Mercury in Sagittarius, so sometimes I get tongue-tied, especially when I'm on live. Especially when I'm doing my videos. I get tongue-tied when I talk. But having Mercury in Pisces is very creative and could be dreamy talk, could be illusional talk, delusional talk. Opposing your Pisces Mercury will be opposing the Virgo Mercury in retrograde. And that could just be you just need to get a little bit more organized. But you find your chaos in organizing your thoughts and the way you get in information and give information. You probably think it's in order, and it probably works for you. Hey, there is my Gemini rising daughter. Milan is in here. Hey, my kids always join my live, y'all. Thank you for joining. That's my oldest. Milan Hate. You need to get a new name for TikTok. I love you. So yeah, Katie. Okay, does that fit, Katie? Literally so Delulu. Okay, right. Because my thing with me having a Mercury in Sagittarius is my the way I talk is uncouth. I'm off the chain with my mouth sometimes, or I talk so above and broad because that's what Sagittarius is like. Really philosophical and knowledgeable in a higher level, and sometimes what I say goes over people's head. But yeah, Pisces is kind of delusional, escaping from reality. But when you come back to reality, you're intuitive and you know what is what. Very spiritual. Hi, Prince Bona. I like that name. Y'all, please tap the screen, hit the likes. Somebody say hi to my daughter. Hey, Milan. Kate said hey to my daughter. Somebody say hi to you if she's still in here. Katie said hi. She's in the next room, actually. What you're doing is not okay. Oh, you're one of those. Let me take you out of here. I don't believe in Jesus, so, and it's, my account, so I'm gonna block yours. Yeah. It's crazy how people think astrology. I wish I have a friend who comes on here sometimes on Friday nights. Hopefully he'll join later. But his TikTok name is Biblical Astrology. Swaja said is what his TikTok name is, and he does biblical astrology and how it's all connected. So, yes, I got her out of here. I got her out of here. That's crazy. But yeah, we got a lot of people in here. So tap the likes, tap the screen for the likes. Follow me if you're not following me, and put your rising sign in the comments if you want to join and talk about astrology too. Tonight is the night to do it. Venus Day is I'm stopping. I'm gonna use astrology always. Okay, that's my business, and I'm helping people with readings monthly. So it's like a therapy session, because what I've been doing is giving a lot of people therapy sessions through astrology. So we can discuss that. If you hit my DM up, let me know you're interested in getting your astrology therapy session. You don't know your rising sign? Thank you for the follow. Is unyielding introvert. Is Capricorn your rising sign or your sun sign? My daughter. See, my daughter right here in the comments. Taurus sun, Aries moon. So this is why she's going to be off the chain with anybody who comes and messes with her mama. And Gemini rising. So yeah, my daughter. There he is. There, Jason joined us. Did you see somebody? I don't know if you saw that, how long you've been in here, Jason, but people are, I just had to block somebody who was saying it was sinful. I should have left them in here. If I know you were in here, you could have maybe talked with them. We're helping people, not summoning. Okay, exactly. All right, so unyielding introvert. And Jason, let me know if you want to join. You've been here for a while. You saw that then. Unyielding introvert. You can go to my website now. I have an astrology calculator. As long as you know your birth date, of course, your time that you were born, and your birthplace where you were born, you can go to Get a Life Astrology, GIDALYFE, astrology.com, and just put that information in, and you'll scroll down. It'll say your sun is in Capricorn, your moon is in a sign, all the planets are in a sign, and it'll say ASC. That's the word for rising, ascendant. And you can come back and let me know. Because I can't just tell by your birthday. I have to know the time and all that. And since I'm on live, I'm going to send you to my website to use the calculator. As soon as you open the website up, it's the first thing you see. Thank you, Unyielding Introvert. We'll be here till 11 Eastern Standard Time. We'll be here for about 45 more minutes. You answer what she said. Well, she's gone now, Jason, so I'm not doing that. Scorpios will sting, and I'm not playing. I'm trying to be desirable and pleasurable on Venus Day. Period. Welcome, everyone. Drop the rising signs in. Jason, you want to come in? Let me know. We've kind of missed each other this week. I had a crazy busy week on my full time, and I go hard on my astrology readings and things over the weekend. So, and I was partying. If y'all didn't know, twice this week I had a nerve to stay out till 2 o'clock in the morning and missed my 4 o'clock astrology business class. So yeah, you didn't waste your words on them. Yes, exactly. Hi Matt. Is Leo your rising sign or is that your sun sign? You've been working out in the heat all day. Yes. I'm ready for the fall at this point. I'm ready for the fall. Thank you for joining. Yeah, I had to take a nap in between the full time and getting on live tonight. I was literally out till 2 in the morning. I heard my alarm go off at 4, but I just hit it and went back to sleep. And I still had to get up at like 8 to start working the full time. And I partied. It's a Leo season, so Leo season is always. That's your rising, Matt? Perfect. Cancer sun, Cancer moon. Woo! And Leo rising. So you have a lot of this Venus retrograde energy. You have your rising sign aspecting it. So if you know what aspects are, that would be it would have been conjunct at whatever degree your rising sign is compared to the degree of Venus rising. And since Venus rising, Venus retrograde, Venus got all the way to the 28th degree. The last degree of every sign is 29, and it goes into the next sign at 0 degrees. And it's already back at 17. It's going to go like to 5 before it goes direct. So, Matt, with having a Leo risings mean that you are following the energy of the Leo sun, like those who have birthdays in Leo season, even though you just had your birthday in Cancer season a couple of months ago. Happy belated. You had your solar return. So you're having like your rising return right now in Leo season. And if you know what your Venus is, if it's not your Venus aspecting the current Venus, it's your natal rising aspecting. So since Venus is in Leo and your natal rising is in Leo, they're conjunct. So that would be blended energies. So somewhere you're having some energies of reevaluating your love, especially having a Leo rising. That means your first house. So it's all about your self-identity when it aspects Venus, how you love yourself, your relationship with yourself, your appearance, your first appearances, impressions on people. You requested to join? Okay. I'm just talking and not paying attention. And if Matt, you're still here, let me know if that aligns, if that resonates with you. We always have this problem, and I feel like we're going to continue to have this problem all through Mercury retrograde until I get more detailed and I study how to use live more, you know? Can you send me the whatever you did the first time, Jason? That makes sense, Matt? Perfect. Do you know what your Venus is, Matt? My Venus is in Scorpio, y'all. Let me tell you, having a Venus in Scorpio is just like Venus retrograde. It's like you... Jason, send it to me again. It's just like you are... Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you, Matt. If you have fixed signs, the fixed signs are Leo, Scorpio. Check multi-guess. Okay. If you have Leo or Scorpio or Aquarius or Taurus Venuses... Where are my children? My children know how to do this, but my son is doing something else. Hosts. No. We did this before. Where's multi-guest? Guest, I'm touching guest. There we go. So if you have any of those placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, or even your North Node. Welcome, Jason.
What's up? You doing all right?
I'm trying to wrap up with Matt real quick. So he's a Leo rising. So if you have any of the fixed sign placements, they're aspecting the current Venus being in Leo, and it has to do with relationships, love, beauty, or your style, and finances. So somewhere there's some changes happening with retrogrades. There's some changes going on. There's some slowing down. There's some redoing. And what I was saying is that me having Venus and Scorpio, we talked about this before, Jason. Me having Venus and Scorpio is just like a Venus retrograde, because it's like you're restricting yourself a bit because you want things to change. You want things to transform. in your love life, in your relationships, in your finances, and in your style. And Jacob says he has Venus in Scorpio. Yeah, it's, the opposite of Venus is Venus rules Taurus and Libra. So the opposite signs of those two signs are Scorpio, which is the opposite of Taurus, and Aries, which is the opposite of Libra. And when you have Venus in Scorpio or Venus in Aries, you are restricting the pleasures that Venus gives. You may even be restricting your finances. And I figured it out, like I don't have a fear of reaching to the top. I just have like situations where I'm putting others before myself as a Libra rising and as a Scorpio, Venus and Scorpio, and as a Scorpio sun. But as I recognize that, I try to switch it up a bit. I'm the type where if I'm in a relationship, we're effing all day, every day. And when I'm not, I cut it off for a year or two. That's the opposite of the pleasures that Venus brings. So that's the toughness. Would you say that, Jacob, if you're still here having a Venus and Scorpio, sometimes you just cut off the love, you cut off the intimacy, you cut off even the finances. Like, I've been down and out and been totally fine with it.
Yeah, Scorpio. I'm not trying to jump in if you're still talking to him.
Look, he said no, dead ass, no. I just like when I love astrology. That's why I'm here. And I like it when it resonates with others. Yeah, it is. It's crazy having a Venus in Scorpio. And my ex had a Venus in Scorpio. That's why we couldn't do it no more. We broke up at the beginning of this retrograde. Go ahead, Jason.
Now, every Scorpio, excuse me, every Scorpio I've met recently, I've asked them all. Like, I'm random. I'll stop people in the store, like in Walmart. I'll be like, "You're a Pisces, aren't you?" Oh my God! Oh my God! I'm like, there's an 8% chance I could have guessed this shit, 8.5%. But and so,
right,
but
Jacob.
every Scorpio I've met, I've always asked them this because this is how I feel inside. And anybody with those kind of Scorpio placements close in. I have Sun and Mercury in Scorpio, and then Uranus in Scorpio, I think. But
yeah,
anyway,
the Uranus and Scorpio crowd is the rebellious kids. That's us.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Not scared of anything.
But I've asked every Scorpio, like, let me guess, and it's not a guess. They know this, but I'm like, you could lose every tangible item you have and be totally okay because you know that you're going through a phase. It's like page 12, next chapter, So that's very true. And about Venus, I never thought about that with Venus and Scorpio. I'm looking more at Venus now and learning more about it because I'm still fairly new to it, but I have a friend that's a Libra sun, Taurus moon. Oh my gosh.
That's Venetian. He's a Venetian.
Yeah, he is struggling so much right now. That retrograde, everything's
right.
messed up.
We're halfway through it, thank God. And one thing I want to point out really quick, talking about Taurus, Jupiter's in Taurus. So Jupiter, the planet of expansion and abundance and luck and rewards, is in a square. So squares are normally conflict, but they come with resolutions always, right? And like this is because Venus is in retrograde and Jupiter's getting ready to go in retrograde the day Venus comes out of retrograde. It's crazy.
Yeah.
By
they're switching off, aren't they?
Sign. Right. They're in fixed sign, so they're going to be close to each other for like a month. Jupiter brings rewards. Venus is also bringing, all your desires, your pleasures, your relationships, and as it comes out of retrograde, things will ease up. And then actual rewards will come if you like have stuck to the plan of, any retrograde. It's like, find the lesson, get to what it is, handle it, and then see what the awesome resolution. It was everybody that talks about retrograde is always, it's Mercury retrograde. This one is not going to be a bad one either because in Virgo, it's going to get us to be more detailed. It's going to force us to be more detailed and more organized and more particular and analyzing things. It's Virgo can be judgmental, but it can also just get us in order. That's why school starts and people get off vacation. They go back to work in Virgo season because it's time to get organized. Earth signs all bring persistence, productivity, organization. They're about money and the material thing. So that's the only way. I feel like sometimes if people just used astrology more, they would be in better places in their life.
Yeah, it's interesting. One of my previous employees contacted my wife today, and I've kind of been in a dark place with a bunch of physical problems. Like I need to see a specialist. But anyway,
Mhm.
so I've kind of been like shutting myself off from everybody, and not really just for any reason other than just like self introspection and that whole bit, the thing we're all should be doing. And anyway, she's a Scorpio, Aries rising 27 degrees, and I'm Scorpio, Aries rising 29 degrees. And it's crazy, but they were both our employees, but one of them was having a hard time. And I was like, you've got to have a Libra or Taurus moon. Like,
Mhm.
crap that you're telling me about and going through, like, and sure enough, she had a Libra moon. It's crazy that being ruled by Venus and Venus you going retro, like that can affect it, even your moon sign, like how you feel inside
Yes.
about yourself. And she said in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, everybody in her family almost has betrayed her. And I said, okay, like you're having to decide, are your family worth keeping around if they're going to put you through
Right.
that? We're all trying to reevaluate money, finances, love life, partnership,
Mhm.
friendship, work.
Relationships, all the shit. Uh, work, and then it depends on what house you are, because what that really resonates. Having any Libra placements right now, with Libra being in the South Node, it's time to release them. And me being a Libra
Mhm.
rising, and having the Pluto in Libra, and having the North Node in Libra, so it's the opposite right now. These nodes for me and you are switched around,
Right.
and all of us are like having the theme of releasing certain relationships we just don't find value in, that are not balanced. If it's more us giving and the other side not, or vice versa, or uh, you know, Libra is people person, so it's doing more for people than we do for ourselves.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a tough decision. It's a tough decision, but even as like me starting this business and trying to build a clientele eventually, I'm going to have to choose that clientele, because people, are people all the time. It's just like, we have to be individuals in a group of people in order to understand and have boundaries of what we want and don't want for ourselves from others.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And one thing you mentioned earlier, I didn't catch all of your live so far, but a good portion of it. One thing you mentioned earlier is that Scorpios are, like you said, Venus and Scorpio, that transformation. We're okay with it. And there's something about with Scorpios, and maybe we need to do a Scorpio live because I'm not just here to talk about Scorpios, but we should do a
Let's
live on
round them
all
up.
12 and just share everything. Do 12 weeks instead of the 12 days of Christmas, do 12 days of astrology and just do one each day
Let's
or
set it
month.
up.
We
Let's
should.
set it up.
And so, but with Scorpios, right now, it's affecting really, I've seen the three signs really being affected. And this is Pluto moving planet, and it's like a bulldozer. It doesn't have to go hit you upside the head. It can just slowly deteriorate your life, or what, like everything, you know how it is. I ain't telling you nothing, girl. So anyway, right now with Pluto just bouncing between Capricorn Aquarius, um Scorpios are having a hard time because we're ready, like it's like two people talking crap,
Hmm.
and someone's fixing to bust a left, like someone is fixing to swing, and you're like, come on, swing already. Either y'all are scared of each other, shut up, or somebody
Okay.
hit some and get the show going. And so a lot of people, it's affecting Aquariuses right now. Oh my
For the
gosh.
follow. It is Aquarius is, especially because that's the opposite sign of Leo, so everything is opposing what is.
Mm-hmm.
I had the last 2 years with Saturn in Aquarius before it moved into Pisces in March, when it was 2021, 2022, when I was like moving a lot and everybody else was on lockdown, and I refused to go back to work and get the jab and all that stuff. And I was
Yeah.
fine in my mind. I had shelter, then I didn't have shelter, and I still was fine because there's Airbnb. I used my Aquarius house, which is the fifth house, to just creatively work my way through life, right? And
Nice.
so
That's awesome.
but the Saturn opposing my natal Saturn was the struggle. It was like, am I creative enough? Or because Aquarius is innovation and Leo is creativity. So was I being creative enough? I had to do some things, that if my job found out, I wouldn't be there anymore. But, it's like I had to get creative. Now I'm getting more creative and innovative because we passed it. And now Saturn is in but, this house is still the Leo house. I had the flip side because of Libra rising.
Right.
Anyway, I still am innovative in a creative way because I'm here trying to build a business so I can leave the job, right?
And
Because I didn't want to be there anyway. I'm
yeah.
Saturn and Leo also is the detriment of Saturn. So it's like you have to be creative in order to be an authority figure, in order to be disciplined and responsible and all those kind of things that Saturn brings. Because Leo is more free and flowing and egotistical with, being ruled by the sun.
Yeah, Leo has like my dad's well, he's actually a quadruple Leo, and he's always like he painted for like 50 years, not pictures but houses and stuff. He
Oh,
was always
welcome back.
creating something, starting something new.
Hold on. We have unyielded introvert came back with her rising, or his. This is Katie, I think. What was your name? No, that's not Katie. I'm sorry. Unyielding introvert. What would you like me to call you? But rising sign Aquarius. We were just talking about this, Jason, how Aquarius is
Hmm.
having like any Aquarius placements are having like a little tough time with this Leo and Venus and Leo energy, especially with
They are,
themes.
yeah.
What
My
did you
friend,
mention about the Aquarius again?
well, I'll give you a good example. My one of my employees that just called, or ex-employees, talked to her a while ago. She's Scorpio. Okay, check this out. She was the first child. She's 32,
Mhm.
Scorpio. The second daughter was Cancer. The son, the third child, was Pisces.
Right.
The dad was a Capricorn. The mom is Aquarius. They've been divorced, and her Aquarius mom just attacked like her 70-something-year-old mom today, who's already like physically cannot even take care of herself. Like just lost it. They're like talking about putting her in a mental institution, and I'm not saying Aquarius is like, but they, people will know something's coming and they're waiting, and it's just a matter of chilling out and listening to stuff like you're telling us to do. Be more creative at the right time. Restrict yourself a little when you need to.
Innovative. Yep. Especially if you have
Yeah.
Aquarius energy. So unyielding introvert is an Aquarius rising, which means that's the opposite house of the Leo rising people. So that would be the seventh house, which is the house of relationships anyway. So I don't know if you're having some issues,
Right.
unyielded introvert, with relationships, with this Venus retrograde. So Venus retrograde would be in your first house, which would
I
be,
would
and
say
I'm sorry, the seventh house
possibly
would be the
is it.
Leo house. Right. That's what I just said.
Yeah, I would ask unyielding introvert if it's family issues,
Family
because
issues. Yeah.
Aquarius loves, everybody on the even playing field. And with Venus in retro, Aquarius not going to ditch their own mom and dad and their family, So that's where a lot of
Hmm.
the struggles come for Aquarius. What I'm seeing, you know, my
Hmm.
Aquarius sister is reuniting with my mom after not talking for a while. She's coming in town to see her this week.
Right.
My half sister. It's her mom, our mom, and then my dad is different. But anyway,
But when
a lot of
Pluto
moving.
moves back into Aquarius in January 2024, I feel like all the Aquarius placements will become more energized and enthusiastic about the transformation that comes from Pluto. Getting to be the not the weirdos anymore, but the unique ones, the ones that are showing us how to be innovative instead of so creative. People can be creative, but innovation is the next level. Like innovation is
Yeah.
when you use the technology, you use the new AI, you use it, you utilize it instead of fearing it.
Yeah, like innovation does a little more integrating of souls, whereas, in the
Hold on,
in
Mona. I'm
the
gonna get to that. Um, Somebody at my new friend Mona. Hey, Mona. My website astrology.com. It has the calculator on there. Um, I would say without knowing the time, just put it at 12 noon and then tell me what the degree says next to your moon. Like if it's at 29 or if it's at the late degrees, 28, 29, 27, it might be the next moon. or if it's the early degrees 0, 1, 2, it might be the previous moon. So if you go to getalifeastrology.com, put it the time at 12 o'clock, and we'll see what happens. And let me know so I can know your rising sign, Mona.
Hey
All right,
Z,
so, huh?
I got a question for you. It's not very
Yeah.
personal or anything. Did being a Scorpio, were you kind of like an outcast in your family?
Hold on, the link is not in the bio, Mona. It's GIDALYFE astrology.com. Get a GIDA life with a Y, LYFE.com. I got to figure out how to put it in the bio. I actually need to work on that tonight. Thank you for the reminder. All right, Jason, I'm sorry. One more time.
No, I was just asking you if you got looked. Did you get treated being a Scorpio and like you know how we can like lose stuff and start over and we don't care.
Mm-hmm.
There's a sense of like knowing that we know everything's gonna be fine, so we're not worried about it. Whereas say a Leo who has to have a little more stability under them,
Taurus,
a
too.
lot of times,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they're forced to. And
Mm-hmm.
so, ever? Did you ever? Were you looked at as like an outcast, being a Scorpio and being okay with like starting over and jumping to random stuff? Because I know, like in my family, like there's no other Scorpios on both sides of my family, and it's always like, oh, him, yeah, how's he doing? You know, it's
Right.
like because I just kind of fly by the seat of my britches, you know.
I always think about us as like the. And one, Melinda, I'll answer your question in 1 second. You actually have the exact same placements as my ex, except her moon was the opposite in Aquarius. You have a better moon. I'm sorry. I always have a complex about some placement, and that Aquarius moon is the complex that I have. I really don't march with those. But anyway, we were just talking about Aquarius too. Um, they detach a lot. So to answer your question, I think I got so distracted. I'm sorry.
Are you good? You don't have to
Yes,
answer that
because
if you want to.
because Scorpios, I think of the scorpion, right? So the scorpion can be in the desert, and when the desert gets dark and it's really icy cold out there, it can turn into an ice cube, and then when the sun rises again, it melts. It just walks off like nothing happened. So that's the rebirth part of Scorpio. So that's why we can lose everything and not care about it because we know that we're so powerful. You know, all these adjectives or whatever you want to call them, labels I'm using are Scorpio words, characteristics like fear, power, um, transformation, and that's why I utilize our symbol, which is the scorpion. Like the Libra symbol is the scales, the Leo symbol is the lion. You just think of the symbol and what they do and how they are, and the scorpion is just a tough animal. It's very small, but has that sting that will pierce through your body. So it's like once you know your power, you know it's going to be okay because you know your power.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Your moon is in
Hey,
Libra too. You okay?
Dua Libra is a friend of mine. Triple Libra.
Hey, Dua.
Sun,
Triple
moon,
Libra.
rising. Sun, moon, rising. Yeah.
Wow. So
It's
are
crazy,
you
right?
feeling it right now, Dua? Like, are you feeling like you need to set some boundaries with people because people in relationships? Quad. What's the fourth one?
Oh, Scorpio's him too. She,
I have Libra and Scorpio stelliums too.
hey, does she,
The Libra rising, the Pluto and the North Node, and then I have the Scorpio Sun, Venus, and Uranus. So I have those. It's some people say it's stellium is 4, but I say 3.
yeah, Dua has Sun, Moon, and Jupiter on her ascendant.
Wow.
She,
Jupiter, Libra, Jupiter. Okay. Hold on. Let me get to Melinda really quick. So, Melinda, the moon and Leo piece is we just had the new moon. So, having a moon in Leo is like just emotionally expressing yourself and being uplifting and inspiring with your emotions. It's not like a water sign having a moon there. You're uplifting and inspiring, but the Scorpio rising piece is always interesting because when you have a Scorpio rising, you have Leo in the 10th house, so you have some business that needs to be handled. So Venus in retrograde is teaching you about whatever you're doing in your work, your career, the authority you take. Either even some father or masculine issues can be there with Venus being in your 10th house as a Scorpio rising. Does that resonate, Melinda? And then I'm gonna get to Dua. You're going through a dark night of the soul, Dua. Okay, right. Because having all those Libra places with Libra in the South Node and Venus rules Libra as well, there's a lot of relationship stuff going on right now with Libra placements. The Jupiter in Libra, that expands it. And then Jupiter's in Taurus right now, and those are both Venus's signs. So Venus is ruling Jupiter right now, even. It's so exciting. Oh, you were saying hey to her. Thank you for bringing Dua. Nice to meet you, Dua. Follow me, I'll follow you. That makes sense. Okay, cool. What'd you say, Jason?
Just saying, she's a big cat lover, but she's up in Nova Scotia. I met her on
Oh,
some
okay.
TikTok
Is it
live.
cold up there now? Is it warm? Is it always cold? I don't know much about Nova Scotia. I just know it's cold. Thank you, Melinda. Thank you for the follows. Y'all tap the screen too. Hit the like button so we can bring more folks in here. Jason.
Do I know?
No, I was just saying. I know that you need some rest, but I want you to stay at least until 11. Is that okay?
Yeah, you're fine. My wife is getting my attention. I got two bosses, you and her, but I got to live with her, so I got to answer her first.
Well, listen, definitely. Hey, Alicia.
She said, "Hey."
Please do what Alicia says. I definitely am not gonna get in the way of that. Abdullah said, "Z here. I met a few weeks back. She's 2 weeks or so younger than me. What did I miss? Oh, you just met. You talking to her? You're talking to her. I got you.
Right.
Okay. Nothing too crazy usually. Dua said, yeah. It's a lot with Libras right now. Libras are turning into the villains when our placements used to be the sweet placements, the kind and peaceful, and now it has to be the other way. It has to be the Aries way right now, because Aries in the North Node teaching us that sometimes we just have to put ourselves first and be aggressive about it, because people will step on you all day, especially when you have Libra placements.
So what if you have, like with me, I have the Aries rising?
She said it was inverted. She grew up the villain. What are your North Node in? A lot of Libras do have aggression in them, and that's just like every opposite sign. Like, Jason, like we're Scorpios, so we do have that wanting to indulge in all our pleasures and desires like Taurus do, or like wanting money, wanting material things, wanting those. Right. We all have like our opposite sign energy in us. Oh, so Dua, yours is in Aries. Crazy.
Her North Node
energy.
I can't remember her North Node.
What do you have an issue with unyielding introvert? What did I just say that struck that? Yeah, if Dua has the Aries North Node, she's having the nodal return right now. So you're stepping back into that, getting to be aggressive. All the Aries placements, I think that it's important to be leaders, and it's important to be aggressive at times. It's just the impulsivity that I wish Aries placements would just work on. Like my daughter who has the Aries moon, she just came in here and was ready to curse out that person that was talking to me about
they're gonna fight, especially with the moon.
The Bible, and it is being evil, remember?
If people only knew what their Bible said, they would be following people like you and I a lot more and paying the hell attention.
Some people are scared of astrology just because of limited beliefs.
Yeah, those are, it's not against them, but until you look and, if we say that we're right, then we have no questions. But if we're actually searching for truth, man, then I'm full of questions. Now I don't have answers. I'm looking for them, and you start digging, it's right there. It's just a matter of, I heard a statement several years back, went like this: if a person, if they're actually honestly mistaken, like an honest person is mistaken about something, whenever they're confronted with like absolute truth, they'll cease to be honest, or they're going to cease to be mistaken. One of the two. They're going to have to choose. Do I want to align with the truth, or do I want to keep doing this and just living my life?
Right. And does it even serve purpose in your life anymore? Is there any value? That's the whole Venus in retrograde. Where's the value? If you don't value a relationship anymore, of job anymore. You don't put value in yourself anymore. All of that.
Mhm.
Unyielded introvert said, yes, yes, that's the whole issue with Libras right now. It's too much people stepping over us. We're giving too much. Leos give a lot too, but they are fire signs, so they do it more.
In increments
Right.
that you don't get too much beneficiary.
Exactly.
You'll get some though.
Good way to put it.
God forbid we help others too much. What are we others?
But
I'm
Libras is
sorry,
like, here, tip my scales. I'll go with the lower scale. You take everything from the top. That's what Libras.
I'm sorry, preferred preference. I love you.
Is she in here? Oh, you're talking
I
about
don't know. This is a
me and
Leo.
Imani went out last night. That's Imani. Me and Imani went out last night. Yep. She's all
Yeah, I
on
saw
my
the video. Yeah,
stories.
party or
You saw our
something.
stories, yep. I'm glad we connected too, Mona. I need truth too. And if you have any truth comes from, I would say, Pluto, and Neptune puts it in your face, but it becomes an illusion. So it depends on what side of the illusion you're looking at to find the truth. All these planets
Who's
have
that?
like certain little themes that we all have in our lives. Venus is the love theme, the finances theme. Mercury is the communication theme. It's also has to do with the money and numbers too. So when Mercury gets into its retrograde, the details, because Virgo has to do with the details and organization again, in our finances and things, we'll have to switch up. We'll have to pay attention to the details. Dua says her North Node is in Sagittarius. Oh. So you should be leaning on. This is like, we just had this, we had this reverse that ago, right when Coco 19 started, when we had the South Node in Sagittarius and the North Node in Gemini. And the South Node being in Sagittarius, we had the travel stopped. You couldn't go to, because Sagittarius rules religion. Couldn't go to church. You couldn't go to couldn't travel anywhere. Couldn't go to far distances without doing this and that. And Gemini is local. Gemini has to do with communication. We were all sitting around on Zoom, still trying to communicate with each other. We were also we were locked down, so we were staying in our local areas.
The first day that they put out the mask mandates, Saturn has just entered Capricorn. What do you know? Or not, Pluto just entered. No, it wasn't Pluto, it was Saturn, wasn't it?
When? Saturn just entered Pisces.
It only goes
Pluto entered Aquarius.
Aquarius,
for
that's
2 months, and then it went into retrograde. So it'll be back in January.
Yeah, the first time it went,
that's when we discovered like all the new AI technology came out, a lot of new AI, and then that's when they were talking about the sightings of the UFOs more on the news.
Right.
You get tired of getting banned, Mona? See, that's why I do astrology, and Jason does this too. We do astrology to put out the truths, connecting it to the truth. So like if I post something about Barry Soetoro, or and Barry Soetoro is the real name of Barack Obama, I'll tie it to astrology somehow. They still might take the thing down depending on the comments. So I need to learn how to remember to turn the comments off. But I tie like a lot of Neptune stuff. Like I have pinned up now how the sightings of Jamie Foxx when he came out of the hospital was not really Jamie Foxx, because that's connected. That's all escaping from reality or in plain sight illusions. It's all those things. So I get a lot of the truth stuff from the planet Neptune being in Pisces, and Pisces is also like victimizing and escaping and delusional energy. But the opposite, the elevated, because each sign has good or bad, each sign has supportive or challenging, each side has elevated or non-elevated. And the elevated side of Pisces is tapping into your spirituality, tapping into your subconscious self, understanding yourself, forgiving, wrapping up some stuff so you can get ready for the new, which is Aries season, which is the new beginnings. I'll join live or go in live general though. Yeah. Live helps me talk with people more, especially new people. and get these truths out. We got 10 minutes, y'all, and then I'm gonna let Jason and myself rest because that's what I was saying about Leo season. Leo season, I love to just like get loose and go to parties, and because we're in retrograde though, all the parties I went to were free, every single one. I'm not going to pay a lot because Venus in retrograde means you're supposed to be checking your finances and, you know, making sure they're in order. So I'm on a budget, strict budget. And then I'm not buying nobody anything because sometimes I used to go to the club and buy bottles and tables for everybody and nobody put it in all those things. That's that Libra rising in me. You know what I'm saying?
Some of that's Scorpio too.
It's Scorpio too. It's definitely Scorpio.
Because we like to come be aid. It's fixed water, and water heals.
Mm-hmm.
Water's a healer. And we can kind of sense when things are off. And I've always been, one time, it's funny because when I was back in church, this pastor dude said to me one time, he's like, man, you always get yourself in relationships where you try to be the hero. Like you find broken people. I don't know what it was. It's Scorpio trying to run to the rescue, you know. But Libra's the same way. Libra cares. So,
right. Mona, tell me what your sun sign is. Did you go to the website and find out your rising? But what I want to say is the Scorpio piece is because Scorpio represents the genitals. As a younger Scorpio, I hope to say that I'm a more elevated Scorpio. Yeah, Mona, I do too. I did that all until I had to switch it up so I could stay unbanned. This is my 7th page. I can't keep making pages. I'm trying to keep people. What was I saying?
You said in your younger years.
All right. So I used to use my genitals a lot as a Scorpio sun. Venus and Scorpio too, right? As ways to make people feel better, to fix them, you know, and it wasn't something I value anymore. I shut it off, especially having a Venus in Scorpio. But it's just like, you know, I used to just literally F all the time. It wouldn't be, sometimes it would be promiscuous. I'm not even gonna lie. In my younger Scorpio days, I was a whole swinger. But I also was married for 10 years, you know what I'm saying? And we were not swingers when I was married. So it was just like, you know, it's like it's the mood, but it also just buckles down to the genitals. Me being a Libra rising, I give my time, my energy, and my money. Me being a Scorpio sun, I give my genital area as a way to fix people. Like, oh, you're feeling sad? Let's go have some sex. Let's go take our mind off of it. Let's go, you know what I'm saying? That is it's the lower side, because Scorpio can still be about sex, but just, you know, be loyal and all that. I was always loyal though, but you know, and in a singer that I just dealt with. But saying all this, it's both signs have to do with relationships. Scorpio's intimate relationships, and Libra's love relationships, partnerships, you know, marriage, all those things. And the Scorpio South Node just, you know, was between January to July. We just moved into this Libra South Node, and it was me having to cut off all that back then too, and release all those energies of having to just throw myself around or throw myself on people intimately just to fix them or keep them or make them, you know. And I, as a Libra rising, a lot of Libra risings have natural beauty. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but you know, I don't look bad, and I didn't have to act like that. You see what I'm saying? I didn't have to be in that lower state, giving myself always.
Yeah, I think that's embedded in a lot of Scorpios too. Scorpio moon, even, it's very intense for Scorpio moon.
Right. Mona, what's your sun sign then? Because we're about to wrap the live up in about 5 minutes. What's your sun sign? And we'll look for the rising sign. I come back on here on Sunday night and Wednesday night and Friday night on my live nights. What'd you say, Jason? Capricorn. She said she's a Capricorn? Oh, she did. Right. Capricorn, you got Pluto in Capricorn right now. So the sun is going past the Pluto. Pluto's been in Capricorn since 2011, so that would mean that is why you deal a lot. That's why she deals a lot with. She's one of the truthers, like, you know, one of the conspiracy theorists. She is into debunking religion and Hollywood and politics and stuff. I met her on a live about those kind of things just 2 days ago. So I love meeting people on live. This is my Leo in the 11th house of groups and new friends and social groups. So I love it. But yeah, with her having Capricorn sun, that Pluto sometimes. So between 2011, Mona, I think you're a youngin. You're like 20 or 30 something. But since 2011 to now, you notice that the government, because Capricorn rules authority and Capricorn rules corporations and all those things, Pluto is transforming it, which means Pluto is breaking it down. Plus, Pluto and Capricorn is the same placement that when the United States was started. So
Yeah.
we're going back. The Pluto is returning to the United States birth, and like anytime the planet Pluto returns, is when the country, the place, rebirths. So you're right on it as a Capricorn sun. I don't even need you. You're 26. I don't even need. That means she's Gen Z, so she has Pluto in Sag. She's Gen Z.
Mhm.
But you don't have you want to know more because you have that Capricorn and it's aspecting Pluto. So that is why you're probably tapping into all the you're watching this country go down. I even talked about her and her position at work. Like Capricorn is about money. So of course you don't want to leave your job, but Capricorn also has the goat energy, the climb to the top of the mountain and show everybody that you're the best. So with that, you're transforming too. You're watching the country transform, you're noticing it, you're talking about it and putting the word out there and sharing it with everyone, which is kind of like what me and Jason do with astrology. But it's like it's extra potent because you are Capricorn sun and Pluto's in Capricorn. So you've been watching this even as a 26-year-old. Pluto's been in Capricorn since 2011. 12 years. 12 years. Pluto's been in Capricorn. And that's half your life, Mona, but literally you're tapped into it. A lot of 26-year-olds are not doing what you're doing. A lot of 26-year-olds are not.
If
I'm
you make a
spot on,
Pluto
Mona.
return,
Right.
yeah, if
Thank
you make
you.
a Pluto return, you're 250 years old.
Right. So nobody has
Vampire
a Pluto
Mona.
return is living, but we were watching the United States have its Pluto return. So it's breaking
Yeah,
down.
the energy, like if you only look at a
Good,
couple of
Mona. That's
things,
good to hear. What'd you say,
like
Jason?
right now we have Pluto in Aquarius, right there in Cap, like teeter totter. And 248 years ago, 250 years ago was July 4th, 1776. And then if you go back another 250 years, there was another change for the collective, which was Martin Luther in the 1540s. Same thing. It was
Right.
a huge religious transformation.
Right.
And I can only wonder what's coming. And we've got energy from all three wars coming up next year. Revolutionary, Civil, and World War II.
We even got the
Recipe for destruction.
right.
Recipe for destruction.
And I know that you were talking about Uranus moving into was
Oh,
it Uranus? Neptune moving
yeah,
into Aries. That'll be
which
in a
one?
couple of years. When Neptune moves into Aries. And
Oh,
when
yeah.
Saturn moves into Aries too. When Saturn moves into Aries. So that is the war energy.
Oh,
But I don't think it's going to be the regular war. I think it's going to be the psychological
no.
war. I think it's going to be the AI technology war because
Yes.
Pluto will be in Aquarius by January.
I'm not saying some pops ain't gonna hit, you know what I'm saying? But it's really gonna be right here.
Thank you for the likes, Mona.
Right here.
Yes.
And with information, because you got Neptune and Pisces, it's the very end of the year. It's the very end of the cycle. And it's the dream of the dreamy. Like, there's so much.
That's why it's so much illusion. That's
Yeah,
exactly why it's so
people.
much illusion. That's why the fake news. That's why the Holly
Yeah,
weird. That's why there's skin mask and and moon bumps. It's all kinds of illusion right now. That's why I can't look at these screens for long because I just
no, yeah, you're
I don't
being
trust.
smart.
I don't. As a Scorpio sun, we don't trust much already. And then
Yeah.
by it being in our sister sign Pisces, we already know what's up. We already know that that water is flowing a little too deep, and and there's something below the surface that we are not paying attention to because we're escaping from it.
Yeah. It's a good
That
description for sure.
yes. So
Yeah,
Mona,
it'll be
yeah.
interesting. I think I don't think that you and I are gonna see the end of all the transformation, but our kids will. So that's why I'm dumping my soul and my time into my son. Bro,
Right.
you got to make sure you're right. You're
Yep.
14. Keep your head on,
Mm-hmm.
because even ones like Mona that are
So see,
26, I
Mona.
feel bad for them. They don't have the privilege of growing up like we did in the 70s and 80s. It was cool back then. The
They
world's
might have a
changed.
better privilege than we do, you know. We did.
Could be, yeah. Chiron and Taurus.
Hmm. And it's getting ready to come back around too. Just as all these
Yeah.
planets are moving, like Chiron is at 19 degrees right now, and it's in retrograde. So I think that moves in 2 more years probably too, because it's in the last it's about to be in the last realm. It just
Yeah.
came out of it just came out of the 20 degrees because it's in retrograde. It's at 19 now. I can't remember when it ends. I think it's like September, October when Chiron retrograde is over. But it'll be that was somebody's car. I don't know if y'all heard that loud boom. But it's going to be going back into the final decan. So we'll very soon.
Yeah. Have you ever watched how Chiron moves? It is interesting.
No,
Like the pattern it makes. Have you ever seen it?
the
I
pattern
didn't
it
know if you
makes.
did or not. Yeah.
No, where did I find that? The information.
Well, I just pay attention to how it goes.
Yeah,
Uh,
true.
but it'll go like into
True,
Aries,
Mona. Right,
and then it'll go back to Pisces, and then it'll go up to two signs to Taurus,
right.
and then it'll go back to Aries, and then it'll jump to Gemini, come back to Taurus, jump to Cancer, come back to Gemini.
Wow. Where do you
It's
find
like a
that out?
sequel. Yeah, I
Where do you
always
find
ask
that
people,
out?
"Where's your?" I just started paying attention, like looking at the Llewellyn's calendar and
Okay.
looking, and best I can tell, it looks like it does that. The North Node stays in retro, doesn't it? The nodes stay in retrograde, don't they?
Always, yep. And the sun and the
But
moon never retrograde, but everything else does.
right, but Chiron, I've from what I could tell, it looked like it just does this spray across like two, come back to one, go forward two. So it like takes
Hmm,
2 steps forward and then a step back. So it's crazy. It's interesting. It's hard to
that
keep track
is.
of
I
all
want to
that.
see that.
Yeah, I'll try to find something and
Send me
send
the
it to
link
you.
if you can. Yeah, if you can find it. But yeah,
So
Mona, it's literally in our face. That's why this is why I do what I do. This is why Jason does what he does. Jason is tying astrology into he has an awesome. I would follow you. I would follow him if I were you because you came into this realm as a spiritual gifted as a child. I was never able to connect to religion, right? And I left
yeah.
religion in 2017. Jason is tying it in. I don't know. I don't want to speak for you,
Yeah,
Jason.
I'm out of religion, but I have a lot of people that there are a lot of people that need my help because no one's gonna stop and explain to them. Most people are like, shut the hell up with your religion because, almost every religion is like, you're going to go to hell. Like, convenient that every religion believes that. And
Right.
so I use astrology to pull people out of that and find a common basis. Like,
Hmm.
I'll do a live and I'll have like a Christian pastor, a pagan, like, priest, and then like a witch in there, and then 20 other people, that I don't know who they are. And I don't care. Like astrology brings us all together because if I know you're a Scorpio, I'm going to treat you the way a Scorpio would want to be treated. You know, if I know, like, that's what the golden rule is, don't treat people the way I want to be treated, treat
Yep.
people the way that they want to be treated. And
Yeah.
once you look at
Reciprocate.
astrology,
Hopefully.
yeah, you can see where people are, and you're like, okay, I can meet them halfway. We can make this friendship work. But
Right. It's
religion
not
just
somebody
divides
like
us
in
up.
religion, like this saying, no, if you don't do this, you're going to go. Me personally, when people tell me that, I'm like, I don't believe in hell, so I'm not going there.
Yeah.
you know, and
Look
that's the
around, you see hell
conversation
right
ends.
here.
The conversation ends. There's nothing else to talk about. Or we're right here in it. Right. We're already here.
Well, yeah, another thing, I was talking to one pastor and he kind of got weird. I said, that in astrology, a Scorpio is the gates to hell. And in your New Testament, the word Hades or
Mm-hmm.
hell is talking about Scorpio energy and the planet
Right
Pluto,
on.
the guardians of the galaxy that guard hell.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't believe in that, then you need to tear your New Testament out and quit preaching, and they don't want to hear that.
Right.
It costs that pocketbook, that once that money starts getting affected, that tune changes a little bit. So
Right. Mona said heaven and
yeah,
hell is a state of mind and ascension. I think so too.
yeah,
Just like bad and good and all the little labels of everything. It's all
yeah.
energies to me. That's what I call them, energies. Like as one of the things that I like to tap into astrology, keeping it loose, is that we are all hateful sometimes. So like racist, the word racism, there are people in every race, because that's a label, every race that are hateful. So I don't like to use the word racist because not that one race is racist, not that not that that person can just be hateful, could just be doing some hateful things. And so labels to me, any kind of label other than male and female, so we can tell each other's genitals, are just
Mhm.
pointless, and part of the programming, part of the lies, and we just kind of, if we were to pull away from labels a little bit, we would be a little bit more peaceful with each other.
Yeah, but right now I 100% agree with you. But with Chiron and Aries, we all got to get labeled somehow. I'm
Yeah.
this, I'm that. It's sad, but why can't we just all love each other? And if
Hmm.
you need something, I got your back. And if I need this big ass wig trimmed, I know you know someone that can trim my wig. Like it's about the collective, but religion gets rid of that,
Yeah.
you know. And I'm out on
It
that stuff. And
divides.
I had to throw something up like biblical astrology because at least people will stop and be like, what the heck?
Right. The
And
name.
so,
Yep.
and so,
The name is intriguing indeed. Yes,
but
indeed.
anyway,
All right. Libra rising cap. Is that what you mean, Rain Exodus? Rain Exodus was here the other day. Rain Exodus, we're about to pull out. Oh, opposite. Hey, Rain. We've been here for a little while. I had my friend Jason on. We both are kind of tired.
I love
But
the name Rain Exodus.
I like the
Exodus
name.
2. No.
You said why the name?
No, I said I love the name.
Oh, I like it too.
Yeah, Rain
She was
Exodus.
on Wednesday. I just met her. Welcome back. But we're getting ready to head out. I've recorded, I downloaded Wednesday. We had a really awesome time on Wednesday. I downloaded on Wednesday, but it won't pull up on YouTube, y'all. So I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna try to put this one on there so y'all can get back to it. But we gotta get out of what? But yeah, Jason, I appreciate you coming on tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I figured I'd hop on. I knew you're doing like Sundays. You're doing the old church times, Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday
Oh, I don't
night.
do no mornings. I do this late at night
I know
when
I'm
the
messing
house is a
with you.
little bit calmer.
Don't you do Sunday and Wednesday and Friday, right? Or
Sunday,
Monday,
Wednesday,
Wednesday,
and Friday.
Friday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sunday, Mercury Day and Venus Day.
Since you're doing Sunday and Wednesday
That's
church
true,
times,
man.
you want to take an offering from us too? The offering plate?
No, but I'm getting ready to offer some therapy because let me tell you real quick. I gave all those free readings out, and I'm getting ready to open it for Virgos because Virgo season starts on Wednesday.
Oh,
And
awesome. Yeah, it's coming up.
I was giving a lot of people therapy sessions, so I feel like they should sign up for some of my readings, but like a monthly, like you don't go to a therapist once, you go to them a couple of times. So if I'm gonna be your
Yeah.
therapist through astrology, I'm
Yeah.
getting ready to start out too. I'm getting ready to start,
That's
a
good.
business where I'm doing the
That's
monthly
exciting.
things. I've been giving free readings out for practice, but I got this. I got this, and I need to
You
step
do.
into
Yeah, you
my.
got your head wrapped around it.
Hmm.
Funny or interesting fact for whoever's here.
Hmm.
So, uh, when the sun this year is at 29 degrees of Leo, right? Leo is gold. Leo is, you know,
Tuesday. Yeah.
yeah, the BRICS nations are gonna meet
Hmm.
and from what I understand, their goal at 29 degrees of Leo is to get off of the US dollar. So,
I've
doo
been
doo is
hearing that. I wonder if
coming.
Mona's still here. Yes, I've been hearing that. I've been hearing that it's supposed to pop off in August, and we literally have what? Today's the 18th. We have like 12 more days of August.
Less than a week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
12
Yeah,
more
and I
days of
think
August. I heard that was supposed to pop off in August. So let's get that. I
last
think
day.
that's part of the Venus. That's part of the Venus retrograde. I'll show y'all. It's 11:11 on the East Coast. Um, the Venus retrograde in 17 degrees and Jupiter in 15 degrees in Taurus. They're squaring, and that's kind of going to bring abundance because remember Jupiter is the planet of abundance and luck, and it's in Taurus. That has to do with finances, right? And then Venus has to do with finances too. And Venus is ruling Jupiter and ruling this square. So there's going to be like I bet if that happens, there's going to be some conflict with it because people are going to be in total shock, number one. And then, Uranus is the planet of shock, and that's also in Taurus. So, and it's kind of it's at 22 degrees, so it's kind of close to Venus and Jupiter square right now. So there's going to be some shock value. A lot of things are going to be shocking in the next couple of weeks with Venus being in Taurus as well.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
I think you might be right on with that. I can't wait to talk about that when it pops off.
Yeah, I was thinking about Virgo being like the breadbasket, and I can just see this move being a gut punch, like a gut punch to the gut of the United States dollar.
And that would make sense. That would make sense. I mean, Rain, it probably is because Venus has to do with finances. Watch your budgets. I've been partying a lot, but free parties, budget, eat less. It's desires. And Taurus has to also do with the resources and all the desires. So Jupiter's just going to broaden that. Jupiter's going to make it huge. But the flip side of it is what we're saying. Next Wednesday is Mercury retrograde and the first day of Virgo season. So Mercury retrograde has to do with numbers. So if they do make that move, it will be shocking, but it'll be organized. It'll be something that I guess everybody will be shocked about, but it'll be a smooth transition. I'm going to speak it into existence. It's going to be a smooth transition.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. They started out, they had the BRICS, which is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa.
Yes.
So they're five. Now they've got
South Africa, right?
South Africa, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and now they have like 40 to 50 countries that are in.
Right.
It is like a conglomerate.
Let's get it.
So if the United States will actually step off the damn high horse and try to go in and like neutralize some debt and go in, but it won't happen. This is a right hemisphere and left hemisphere war of the mind of the earth.
That's what I said. It's going to be some kind of psychological war. Yep.
100%, because we don't like the other kind. We don't like any kind of war, but especially the kind that our parents and grandparents had to fight in.
And that's why they've been setting up this like division all along,
Yeah.
So we can get ready for that, and they'll have soldiers on both sides.
That's right. Water and food just in case.
That's right.
Because EMPs do exist.
I got at least 200 cans that I'm dying to kick into and watch the show and just lay back and be on another lockdown, but for a positive resolution, a resolution we can't even imagine, y'all. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I got mine right there somewhere.
I know that's right. I see it.
Yeah, if it gets rough, I mean the bag of cat food over there.
Right. I know that's right. All right. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up for us.
All right, thanks for having me
on. As usual, thank you for coming on. Alicia, thank you for your patience. Let her know. I said, hey.
Let me wake her up and tell her thanks for your patience. No, I'm kidding.
Don't do that.
I know. Z told me get mad at another Scorpio instead of me.
Tell her in the morning. Don't do that.
No, she's not asleep yet. I appreciate you. I love you. If you need anything, holler at me. I got you.
Love y'all.
All right.
See you, Jason. Safe. I will. We're going to talk more about the thing we were talking about.
Yeah.
I'm still here too. Thank y'all for sitting through the live and all the likes and all the follows and things. It was nice meeting all the new people too. We'll talk soon too. Night, Rain.
Cool.
Night, Mona.
Good night.
All right, bye.